Daytona, Bristol, Phoenix, Las Vegas, and Auto Club. These are all the tracks that we have been to on the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series schedule. The one thing they all have in common? The Generation 6 race car made its premiere on those tracks in the 2013 season. The big question we're asking now is, with 5 races logged in the books, how exactly has the car done? Myself and 4 Tires and Fuel will take a hard look at how this car is done. 4 Tires and Fuel starts right now. With the Generation 6 cars already being used in 5 races so far this season, it's given us a good look at how it handles on many different types of tracks. My favorite race actually was at Daytona. The cars look great, fast, and very comfortable there. As they transition to more of the intermediate tracks such as Phoenix and Las Vegas, the action was about the same. As we're watching here, the race at Las Vegas, a fairly calm race actually. Very subdued, not a lot of incidents involving the vehicles in any way, shape, or form. I personally, if we're going to start off talking about it, the appearance of the car. When looking at the original cars from years ago, which we all remember these, 2005, circa, and going back, the cars were very, very stock, just generic looking. Nothing really distinguishing about it in terms of manufacturer identity. As we see here with the 2006 Tony Stewart vehicle here, you have the headlights that are distinguished with the Monte Carlo SS of the time, but that was really about it when it came to manufacturer identity. Then, of course, we transitioned to the car we know now as the car of tomorrow, which is now the car of the past. See, very, very boxy, just very, very, almost as Tony Stewart called it once, a flying brick. Just very, very rigid, very blocky. Not a lot of identity here. The decals is pretty much what made it have its identity. As we're going to these new cars here, manufacturer identity was a big part of the development of this car. Making sure that you could tell that a Chevrolet is a Chevrolet, a Toyota is a Toyota, Ford's a Ford. And sadly, as we watched the Las Vegas race, a year ago this is where they announced the Dodge Charger coming to NASCAR, but sadly Dodge is no longer in the sport. When it comes to appearance, the car is fantastic. They did a great job designing the car. The second thing I'll discuss is the overall integrity of the vehicle. As we look back at the recent incident with Denny Hamlin, we can't really blame the car for that. That was a really unfortunate situation that was compounded by the fact that there was no safer barrier against that wall for Denny Hamlin. One of the big issues is that fact that there was no safer barrier there, it caused that impact to be not really dissipated and caused him some injury. He won't be back for a few races. Overall, it seems that the car has maintained its integrity that we saw in the creation of the car tomorrow, making sure that driver safety is of top priority. As we know with the car tomorrow, you do have the cage here that's reinforced with the foam that they use, very similar to the foam that they use on the safer barriers all along racetracks like this. But they also have the roll cage here that keeps that driver safe in the event of a serious impact on the side. An example of this would be last year at Michigan with Mark Martin. Mark Martin went on the pit road and was actually part of the track, got into his car and penetrated it. But because of this cage here, it kept him safe. Another innovation that really helped him there was the fact that inside these cars, they kept this feature in there. The driver is actually somewhat centered in the vehicle. They're not completely centered, but they're just going in toward the middle of the car. Again, putting more space between the car and any sort of impact that could happen. As we review the Denny Hamlin incident, again, there's not much you can really blame the car there for doing. The car maintained its integrity throughout the incident, but it was almost a head-on collision. Actually, it was a head-on impact into a wall at a significant rate of speed. And of course, we wish Denny Hamlin the best in his recovery as he deals with that. The last big thing when it comes to the car is its overall performance. We've had a variety of racetracks so far this season. We've gone from Daytona to Phoenix to Las Vegas to Bristol and to Auto Clubs. We've had a lot of variances in terms of handling, speed, all sorts of things that could impact the overall performance of the car. Outside of engine issues, which you really can't attribute to the body of a car, I really have seen no major performance issues that concern me. I mean, the one flaw I do have with this car is the fact that it does seem very flimsy, whereas if we look at, just use this car here for example, right here, during an incident with Danica Patrick at Phoenix, that entire side was sheared off. That can be very, very, very costly to a team who's trying to keep their car out on the track, because you're losing all that sheet metal in the process of a fairly simple wreck. In past cars, they've been more sturdy. These cars you were able to kind of beat up a little, and it didn't seem like they would take as much damage. But these have significant concerns as to what type of damage can be incurred on them, and can you actually recover from those damages. So overall, I think in terms of looks and appearance, I give the cars a B+. They look great, they will perform well on the racetrack. As we see here, Carl Edwards' 99 car looks fantastic. It looks exactly like something you'd see on a showroom floor. That's exactly what they were going for when they designed these cars. In terms of performance, I'll have to give them a B+ as well. There's not much that I can say is bad about the car, but I would like to see them maybe make the cars a little more durable, so if there's an incident, they could be able to repair them a little better than they have been in the past. So an overall grade for the new cars, I'd go ahead and give them a B+. I know it's just B+ across the board. It's impossible to give them an A because that means the cars are completely perfect, everything is there, and nothing is wrong with them. There's of course some room for improvement. Some people feel that the competition has reduced with these cars. I don't think that, but at the same time, you could still work it out so these cars could be competitive, can look good, and be safe for the drivers, which is really all NASCAR really wants. Competition with safety in mind. But that's my take. If you have a different opinion, be sure to send us a comment. Be sure to tweet at us at 4Tires and Fuel, which is right there on the page there. And also look us up on Facebook at www.facebook.com, you know the whole drill, /4Tires and Fuel. But again, I'm Mike Campbell, 4Tires and Fuel's analyst, and that's been your look at the car tomorrow / Generation 6 car. That's my take. Have a good day. See ya.